Hare Krishna. So we'll begin with the prayers. Om Agyantimirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshurulmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manovishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guruho Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagarjatam Sahagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमा ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यस्थान्ने वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतसे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते गोपसा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये नीरजल निवासाय नित्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्याम जगन्नाथाय च नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So yesterday we had discussed till uh, Nandotsav, how this Nandotsav was celebrated in uh, Vrindavan in the house of Nanda Maharaj. And now we'll discuss further. We'll discuss about Putana Leela, Saktasura Leela, and Trnavarta Vadh. So these three passions we are going to discuss today. So just give me a minute. Hari. Yes. So in this way, uh, after the entire Nandotsav, then Krishna drowned entire Vrindavan in with his love and by his beauty. Then one day approached when Krishna, who assumed the form of a human being, although his body is made of Sachidanand. So this Gopkumar, he was attracting everyone. So although he was looking like ordinary human being to the ordinary people, but his body is completely spiritual. And he was satisfying the minds of everyone, along with his divine consort Srimati Radharani, who had appeared in uh, the house of Vrishabhanu Maharaj. So this was the time when Nanda Maharaj went to uh, Mathura to pay taxes to Kansa. And the reason was he was thinking that if he doesn't pay taxes to Kansa, then Kansa will send his people to Vrindavan. And if he sends his people to Vrindavan, as Kansa was already searching for uh, the eighth son of Vasudev, so he may misunderstand that Krishna is the eighth son of Vasudev and he may try to kill Krishna. And that is why Nanda Maharaj thought it better to himself go along with his close associates and pay the taxes to Kansa in Mathura. And that is why Nanda Maharaj took the decision that I'll go to Mathura and pay taxes to Kansa. Hmm. So, previously, when Kansa had tried to kill the eighth child of Devaki, so that time Yogamaya, whom he thought to be the eighth child of Devaki, slipped from the hands of Kansa, who was going to kill Yogmaya by beating her to death by beating on a stone. So she slipped from his hand and he severely rebuked Kansa, who was calling me in the previous life. So she said, "You fool, what benefit will you get by killing me? The one who will kill you has already taken birth somewhere else." And in previous life also, Kalnemi was killed by Lord Vishnu. So he remembered his past enmity with towards Lord Vishnu. So that is why Kansa, being advised by his ill ministers, he called for Putana, who was a cruel and wicked Rakshasi. So she was called Khechari. Khechari means Khe means sky and Chari means one who moves. So she would move in the sky. And she was expert in killing the babies, and especially she would relish drinking their blood. So in this way, she was like an evil planet. And Putana being a very powerful demon, she could assume any form, any form. So in this way, she came to Vrindavan in a disguised form as the most beautiful woman in the three worlds. So when she came to Vrindavan, all the Vrajavasis became very much attracted and bewildered by seeing her exceptional charming beauty. So in this way, Putana astonished everybody's mind by her enchanting form. And when the Gopas, when they saw the beauty of Putana, they were thoroughly mesmerized. And then they started rebuking the Apsaras of heaven. Hmm. So what they were saying? So they were saying that, "Oh Urvasi, you are called the best of the heavenly damsels, but in front of Putana, you are no more better than a beggar." And then they said, "Oh Alambose, there's no need of maintaining your high bamboos of pride, because all those high bamboos of pride are crushed by this lady." And then he started remembering Ramba. "Oh Rambhe, very soon you will become the consort of a frog, because you are no more beautiful than a frog as compared to this lady." And then they remembered Hitachi. So they said, "Oh Hitachi, your fame, which can be compared to the line of a melted butter, it's no more valuable than the crematorium which is covered by water." Ah. So crematorium anyway is considered very inauspicious. And if it is covered by water, you can't even burn the wood there. So your fame has become like that. And then they laughed at Menaka. "Oh Menake, all my followers will laugh heartily at you." And then they started remembering Pramlocha. That, "Oh Pramloche, a rushing current has now washed away the treasure of your beauty. You are no more beautiful as compared to this lady." Then they remembered Chitralekha. "Oh Chitralekha, your captivating form appears now like lines in a painting. It doesn't look realistic." Then they remembered Trilottama. "Oh Trilottame, your glorious fame has dwindled to nil now in compared to this lady." But everybody was wondering, who is this Putana? And then Vijayavasi started thinking, maybe this lady is the presiding demigoddess of Vrindavan, Vrindadevi. Then somebody thought, no, no, no. Maybe she is goddess of fortune of the three worlds. Then they thought, maybe she is a creeper of lightning appearing without a cloud. Somebody thought, no, no, no. Maybe she's a friend of Kumada flowers blossoming under moon, because she would look beautiful like the flowers. And when Putana entered Mother Yashoda's home, all the Vrajavasis thought that goddess of fortune has come. Maybe she has come to personally render some service to Krishna. So Krishna is so fortunate that Mother Lakshmi is coming to serve him. But this Putana was like a shameless woman. So her heart was filled with cruelty and ignorance. And very, very courageously, she just entered in the house. And then Putana saw baby Krishna. And when she looked at Krishna, Krishna was looking like spark of a powerful fire, which is capable of burning the sum total of all misfortune to ashes. It's like a small spark of fire can consume the entire wood, entire stock of wood also. So similarly, Krishna was that fire who can burn all the misfortunes to ashes. Or Krishna was looking like a transcendental flame of lamp which is competent of subduing the entire darkness of night. So in this way, he could subdue all the enemies who was Putana in front of Krishna. Or Krishna was looking like Agastya Rishi, who could easily swallow the deadly ocean of poison represented by mental existence. Especially Agastya is known for saving the sages from Rakshasas many, many times. Like in Bhagavatam, we have the story of him killing Ilvira and Vatapi. He would digest Vatapi also. And when Krishna was laying on his bed, it was looking like as if white rays of full moon are coming. Krishna was looking effulgent like moon, Krishna Chandra. Or he was looking like a foam produced from the churning of ocean of milk. Or he was looking like a great emerald sprouting from a field of powdered camphor. But then, how was Putana looking? Putana played the part of a sweet deceiver who speaks very pleasing words, but then he has a cruel plan within his vicious heart. So sometimes some people speak very sweetly, but then they may try to kill the person with whom they are speaking or harm him in some way. Hmm. Like uh, Sanatan Goswami, when he was passing through the Jharkhand forest, the innkeeper there, he was too much favoring. Sanatan Goswami understood something is wrong. Atiyor bhakti choryo lakshan. If he is doing so much of devotion, then uh, that means there is something wrong. So Putana also was looking like that. So see, Putana is compared to the well covered with grass in order to trap the wild elephant. So elephant is very powerful, but elephant has a weakness. Elephant is extremely sensuous about skin pleasure. So what they do is they take a sea elephant rubs her body against the he elephant and runs away. And this sea elephant is very nicely trained. So she moves away from the patch of well which is covered by a grass. And then he elephant thinks that I am very expert. She's foolish now, she's going around. I will take the shortest path. So he just goes through the shortest path and he becomes trapped in that well. And that is how the elephant is caught. So Putana was looking like that well covered by the grass. All she was looking like a jeweled sheath of deadly sword. So sword looks very beautiful when it is under the sheath. But as soon as sword comes out, it has the power to kill anyone. So she was like that. or C is compared to a poisonous plant which looks like desire creeper. So somebody may think, oh, such a nice desire creeper. Hmm, let me touch it, smell it. But as soon as you touch it, you're gone. So Putana was like that. And that is one of the reasons why Bhaktivinoda Thakur compares Putana to be a false guru who poses himself as if no, he's the person who enlightens everyone, but then he misguides the person. So Putana was like that. So she was displaying motherly affection towards Krishna, and Putana held Krishna on her lap. And while Putana was carrying Krishna on her lap, what was Yashoda and Rohini doing? They were thinking, "Oh my God, this lady is so beautiful. Maybe she is Bhagavati Gauri, consort of Lord Shiva, who has come to see my child. Or maybe she is Bhudevi, the presiding deity of metal elements. Or maybe she is Sachi, the consort of Indra. Or maybe she is Queen of Varuna. Or maybe she is consort of Agnidev. Uh, but anyway, she has appeared to display affection towards my son. And that is why Putana directly started feeding Krishna breast milk, and they didn't even prevent. Rather, what was Yashoda thinking? She thought, am I a mother? No, no. I am not fit to be the mother of Krishna. She is fit to be the mother of Krishna. So, seeing the beauty of Putana, even Mother Yashoda was so much captivated, and she couldn't understand who Putana was. So, I'll just show the photograph of Putana. So, you can see the first one. She's Putana, looking very beautiful, but with a evil plan. The first photograph. So, in this way, Mother Yashoda was also extremely deluded, and she thought maybe she's the lady who's fit uh, to become mother of Krishna. And Putana also, she picked up Krishna very lovingly, cuddled Krishna on her lap, and compassionate Lord also, he was behaving as if he's unaware of the situation. Rather, he closes his eyes. So I'll not go to again Acharya's commentaries, but Acharya has given many, many reasons why Krishna closes his eyes. So one of the reason is that she should not understand that I'm about to kill her. So she should be comfortable. Second reason was that he was thinking, oh my God, as Lord Ram, the first demon to be killed by me was a lady. Ladies first. And again, there is a lady first. Again, Putana has come and I have to kill a woman. So you don't display your Kshatriya nature in front of a woman. So that's why he closed. Another reason which Acharyas gave is that uh, he was meditating on Lord Shiva. That I will take only the motherly love of Putana, which may be very little. You should accept the poison. It is your work to accept the poison. So there are many reasons are given, but we'll come back to Anvindavan Champu. So in this way, uh,
Actually,
yeah.
Roji, what was the third point, Roji?
Third point was that he was meditating on Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva is known for accepting poison. So that you accept poison from her breast, I'll accept only love, which little bit is there within her. Yeah. So in this way, he closed his eyes. And there are many more reasons, but we won't go in detail. So then what happened is, uh, Krishna, despite knowing the evil plan of Putana accepted Putana as his mother, uh, and immediately climbed on the lap of Putana. And Yasoda and Rohini were watching how Putana is expressing her motherly affection towards Krishna, how she's pressing her breast into the mouth of Krishna, but they didn't knew that the breast is covered with Kalkut poison, the most deadly poison which came out during the churning of ocean of milk. And Krishna, with his soft copper-colored lips, which are looking like drinking cups made of petals of banduka flower, he just sipped the breast of Putana. And then he started sucking the milk from the breast of Putana. So he drank the milk and the poison. He drank and drank and drank and drank and drank. And now he starts sucking her life air. And when Putana saw that Krishna is sucking her life air, she couldn't keep her composure anymore. So she felt very helpless and stupefied. And she started telling, "Oh child, leave me, leave me, leave me." Hmm. But once Krishna catches anyone, he doesn't leave. कृष्ण एक बार पकड़ लेते छोड़ते नहीं है. Krishna was not leaving. So she was with her entire force. She was trying to throw off Krishna from her breast. But Krishna was holding Putana very tightly, and he was just sucking her breast more and more with her soft, tender lips. But suddenly, Krishna was not deriving any satisfaction from that milk, because that was not given with love. So Krishna accepts only things which are given out of love. Now Putana couldn't keep her composure anymore, and she became like a came in her original Sarupa, the horrible demon Putana. So after accepting her poisoned milk, Krishna threw Putana's huge and hideous body out of the town. Because Putana, whose body was miles and miles long, if she would have fallen in village of Vrindavan, then so many people would have been killed. Rather, actually, which which we can put as it later, he threw the body of Putana on the favorite orchard of Kansa. Krishna is very expert. So Kansa had a very favorite mango orchard. Krishna threw her body in that so that two things can be understood. One is that Kansa will immediately get a message that Putana is killed. And the second reason is that uh, Kansa will get some grief also. Not just now he's using Putana. So for these two reasons, he particularly took Putana to that point, that place where this mango orchard was there. And then when Putana died, so he sucked her life also, life hairs. But on everyone's amazement, Krishna was very peacefully sitting on Putana's lap. But when Vrajavasis saw this body of Putana, they were frozen with fright. Uh, so she was looking like the tax collectors. When tax collectors come, they intimidate the people and collect the money. Not so much nowadays, but earlier days. We remember the pastime of Raghunadas Goswami, where Raghunadas Goswami's father and uncle were intimidated by the tax collector. So they would harass the entire family. So she was like that. And like Vibhishan, he manifested his glories in land of Lanka, not elsewhere. Similarly, Putana, her in glory was visible in Vrindavan through her terrible body. Hmm. So her body was looking like mountain because, and not just ordinary mountains, she was like miles long. Her milk-filled breasts were looking like clouds on the top of the mountain. Her deep mouth was looking like Patal Loka. Her nostrils were looking like ravine on the mountain. So ravine on the mountain means there are some narrow passages, and through that the rivers flow through the valleys. So she was looking. So noses, um, so nostrils were looking like that. Her teeth were looking like plowshare. Her arms were looking like palm trees. Her tongue, which was put outside now, was looking like a royal road, and her abdomen was looking like a large lake, especially her navel. And her eyes, which had bulged out of uh, ears, were looking like tall trees. They were looking like tall tal trees. In this way, the ugly body of Putana was 12 miles long. So that's why God doesn't have to uh, prove that he's God. Prabhupada gave lectures, and one of the title of the lectures is God is God, dog is dog. So no, dog by any amount of meditation can never become God. So in this way, Krishna, although a small child, a small baby, killed this 12 miles long demoness Putana. And for Yasoda, it was like a utter shock. She was so bewildered. Just the moments before, she was thinking that Putana deserves to be mother of Krishna. And now, what is Putana doing now? She was thinking her to be Parvati or Sachi. And now, what has happened? So, she was like thoroughly bewildered. And now, because she was not able to see her son, she was crying like a cow who laments for the calf. And it's really very, very pitiful. So, I stayed in Gosala. I could, once I saw like that. When cows cry, it's like it touches one's heart. And she was sighing and saying, Alas, how painful. What has happened to my son? Where is he? Uh, and she actually fainted. And when she fainted, other gopis tried to revive Yasoda. And when she came out, she was again lamenting like anything. Alas, how painful. And then she started thinking, maybe these heavenly damsels thought my son to be like blue lotus, and that's why they took away my son to decorate their ears. Maybe Nagpatni saw my son and they thought him to be like a blue sapphire, and that's why they took my son to adorn their foreheads. Or maybe Gandharvas abducted him to decorate their braids, thinking him to be fragrant flower of Tamal tree. Or maybe some yoginis, they have snatched my son because my son is perfection of all the siddhis. Or maybe Lord Shiva, he has taken away my son, mistaking my son to be Chandra, moon. So he thought I'll decorate Krishna on my matted locks of hairs. So in this way, she was lamenting like anything. And she was thinking, are the activities of this wicked lady the results of my past karma? Or it's just a freak play of destiny? Maybe considering me to be unworthy, my son has gone to some other mother because I am not worthy to be called a mother anymore because I couldn't protect my son anymore. So in this way, she was lamenting like anything. So in this way, Yasoda walked few steps, staggered, and fell senseless. But as soon as he heard that her son Krishna has returned, then Yasoda regained her consciousness. And then upon waking, she said, tell me, has someone kidnapped Krishna? Where can I find him? And then again, she stumbled forward and somehow she was walking. So her hairs had become loose now, dress was totally covered with the dirt, and she was in such a distressed condition that she was looking like a lovely creeper blown away by the strong wind. And then Vrajagopi tried to restrain her. But still, Yashoda continued to wail, strike her breast, thinking, I'm not worthy of taking care of my son. Uh, so in this way, she somehow crossed the town gate, coming to this place where Krishna had killed Putana. And Gopas were also, they were running in all directions to search for Krishna. And when they came to this place, they were thinking, my God, how has this new mountain peak has come in Vrindavan? Uh, so how it is crashed down in Vrindavan? And then some of them thought, maybe it is dead womb of the earth. Some thought, no, 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 it seems some molten flesh has fallen from the sky. Some other said, it seems that heaps of bone are collected from the 10 direction and they have come here. Someone said, no, no, no. It seems to be a body of demon, maybe. And in this way, all the Vrajavasis, uh, they were running fearfully toward the east, toward this place. But then Krishna didn't want it to create more trouble and anxiety for them. That's why he crawled up on Putana's chest so that they can see how he's comfortable and nicely playing on the breast of Putana. And in this way, when Gopas saw Krishna, they saw Krishna like a blue cloud on the top of the mountain peak. And seeing Krishna, Gopas cried out, oh, look, look, that woman came to kill uh, Nandan Nandan Krishna. But just see, she has died because of her grave offense. And how fortunate we are that Krishna is saved. Then some of the Gopas, they somehow climbed on the body of Putana, uh, which was looking like a base of a mountain. And then they held Krishna, who was fearless, beautiful, and sweetly smiling. So they picked up Krishna, they passed Krishna from one hand to another hand, uh, and that is how Krishna was coming down. At that time, all these gopis, they told Yasoda, oh, pious one, here is your son. Please embrace him. Please embrace him. So thinking in this way, uh, Yasoda was feeling as if somebody is speaking in their dreams. And then Yasoda said, are you tricking me? So she was looking as if some evil planet has caused some spell on Yasoda. So Yasoda was not able to believe that Krishna has returned. But when Krishna was placed on the lap of Yasoda, she got the conviction that Krishna has returned. So Yasoda was looking like a woman who has just woken up from the deep sleep, or someone who has come back to life from the dead body, or some unconscious person who has returned back to his senses. But when Yasoda saw Krishna's face, she swelled with joy. So then Yasoda and Rohini, uh, along with other gopis, elderly gopis, they waved the switch of a cow, the tail of a cow basically, like this. Then they bathed Krishna with cow urine. They performed purifying acts like creating, so that auspiciousness is created. And then they chanted holy names of Lord Vishnu, which Mother Yasoda had learned from Durvasa Muni. And Durvasa Muni had learned from Lord Shiva. And Prabhupada, in commentary to this verse, says that Nowadays, women are not trained in all these things. But in Vedic culture, they were naturally trained. And Prabhupada had a desire that ladies in ISKCON should know all these things. How to create auspiciousness for the child. So in this way, they chanted the names of the Lord. But Putana's body was so huge. It was so huge. So then what Vrajavasi did, they chopped her body into small, small pieces and they started burning it. And because this body was so huge, the smoke of her body, the burning body, created many, many sparks. And the smoke looked like a monsoon cloud, illuminating the, illuminated by streaks of lightning. But because Krishna had touched the body of Putana, her body gave a very, very pleasing fragrance which went up to Vaikuntha, that sweet aroma. So everybody was enjoying that fragrance of incense of aguru and sandalwood. It was looking as if somebody is burning aguru and sandalwood. Because that comes from this fragrance comes from the body of Krishna. And the rain falling from that fragrant smoke. So fragrant smoke went up and it caused rains. And that saturated the earth with that sweet smell. Uh, so that is how Krishna purified Putana. Hmm. Uh, so before going to the next episode, not actually like further things, we can talk about past life of Putana. Hmm. That how is it that uh, Putana got such a great fortune? Hmm. यातु दान अपि सा सर्गम अवाप जननी गतिम कृष्ण भुक्ता स्तना चीरा किमो गावो अनुमातरः. Sukdev Goswami says. Hmm. Yatu dhani api swa sargam. So she went to Swarga. She went to the uh, spiritual abode. Hmm. Avapa Janini Gatim. And Krishna gave her the place of Janini. Hmm. So Krishna Bhakta Stana Chira Kemungavarnumatara. And what to say of the cows and gopis of Vrindavan who got the good fortune of giving their breast milk to Krishna personally. So Putana was given such a position. So now the question comes into how did Putana get such a good fortune? So I'll just complete this chapter, then I'll answer the questions. There are a few questions in the chat box also. So the reason given by Sanatana Goswami is, one of the reasons is Putana imitated Vrajavasis. Putana imitated Vrajavasis. So just because he imitated Vrajavasis, Krishna was so pleased that Krishna gave her the position of Vrajavasi. So even imitating devotees is so great. What is of becoming a devotee? Another reason which is given in the scriptures is that Putana was brother of Bali Maharaj, whose name was Ratnamala. So when Lord Vamandev was walking in the arena of Bali Maharaj, so that time Ratnamala happened to see Vamandev and she was captivated by the beauty of Vamandev. She thought, if I could get such a son, then I would surely love to feed her my own breast milk. But when Lord Vamandev took this Trivikrama avatar and he took away all the property of Bali Maharaj in just 2 steps. So he thought, but if he was my son, I would have killed him by feeding him poison. And because she happened to be the sister of Bali Maharaj, uh, Krishna fulfilled both the desires. So he gave her the opportunity to feed milk, and he also gave her the opportunity to feed poison. So that is why Putana got such a good fortune. She had a great fortune of being delivered. Uh, And now this by this time, Nanda Maharaj was returning from Mathura, and then he began to observe the smoke. By seeing the smoke, he felt very apprehensive, and he asked from his associates, "What has happened? From where this fragrance, this smoke is coming?" And the associates of Nanda Maharaj said that, "Oh Nandaraj, uh, we are not able to understand that is it a blue whale blowing in the wind and reaching up to the to touch the feet of celestial ladies, or maybe it is the tips of tall grasses. They are looking like grasses. This entire smoke, or maybe these are the rays emanating from the jewels on the hoods of huge serpents from the Rasatal, which are trying to pierce the entire universe, or maybe they are running back and forth of elephants. So these are like four elephants which cover the four directions. Maybe they are running here and there, or maybe clouds are falling on the ground and again rising up, or maybe dense clouds of darkness are suddenly spreading throughout the entire universe. So we are not able to understand what is that. And then they all went closer to Putana. And then elderly Gopas wondered, my God, all this aromatic smoke is suddenly from where it has come. Is it the fragrance of the earth which is expressing the desire to conquer the sky, uh, which has taken the form of the smoke? And all these Gopas were arguing among themselves. And then Nanda Maharaj asked, what has happened? Tell us. Tell me, no, what is wrong? And then some Vrajavasis came from there and they narrate the entire episode of Putana's demonic deeds. So in Srimad Bhagavatam, it is explained by in Acharya's writings that Nanda Maharaj was so simple. He started praising immediately Vasudev, because Vasudev had told him that maybe your son is in danger. Immediately, don't stay back here. Go back to uh, Vrindavan. So Vasudeva knew that no, Kansa will attack, try to kill my eighth son. So he was worried about Krishna. And Nanda Maharaj was thinking, my God, Vasudeva is endowed with such intelligence. He could understand that there is a trouble to my son. So because he was simple, he couldn't understand that politics and diplomacy which is there among the Kshatriyas. So this is the simplicity of Vrindavan. And then Nanda Maharaj uh, did ceremonies to purify his son, performed all the Vedic rituals, bathed him in cow urine, applied auspicious substances to Krishna. And then Nanda Maharaj began to look at Krishna with unlimited paternal affection. And then Nanda Maharaj picked up Krishna and started smelling his head. And this brought seeds of bliss to his heart. So, overwhelmed with unlimited pleasure, he started getting ecstatic feelings and ecstatic symptoms. Like tears started appearing in his eyes out of happiness. His hairs were standing on the end. Uh, so, in this way, Putana Rakshasi came to kill Krishna by feeding poison to Krishna, but Krishna gave her the position in the spiritual world. And this compassion is the one which attracted even Sukdev Goswami, who was Atmaram. Aho bakiyam stanakale kutam jigham saya apayat abhiyasadvi lebe gatim dhatri muchitam tato annam tam vadayalum paranam vajema saranam vrajema. So aho bakiyam. Oh, bakiyam is the sister of Bakasur. Stanakalukutam. So she smeared her breast with kalkut poison. Jigham sayam api asadvi. And she didn't have any good intention because she was asadhu. Asadhu means immoral. Hmm. But what did Krishna do? Lebhe gatim dhatrim uchitam tadanyam. Krishna gave her the position of Dhatri, one of the nurses in the spiritual world. Hmm. Kam vadayalum sarnam vrajema. So if we don't take shelter of him, whom will we take shelter of? So that is how Krishna delivered Putana. Yes. Okay. So maybe we'll take questions now, two questions, and then we'll move to the next chapter. So Sumechadanpu can ask, and then I'll answer Asudas Pru's question also.
Guruji, like in the beginning, you described that uh, when Putana was coming, so all the Brajavasis got attracted to her. So was it because of was it Mahamaya basically too? Because they are Brajavasi, so how can they be overpowered by lust too? Or was it like out of lust, or was it out of respect?
Mm-hmm.
Because like later on she is because
Mm-hmm.
Sudamai is considering her to be Parvati. So
Mm-hmm.
what was it?
Yeah. So similar question by Asudas Pru also. He writes, it sounds like Vrajavasis are under the garb of material senses, as everyone considers Putana to be extraordinary personality. So certainly, one thing is it is a play of Yogamaya potency, because Vrajavasis don't have material bodies which can be uh, covered by three modes of material nature. So that there's no possibility like that. Another thing is they were appreciating the beauty of Putana. So it was not like a sway of lust within their heart. They are captivated by the beauty of Putana. Hmm. So if somebody is beautiful, telling her beautiful is not lust. Lust is when you want to enjoy that beauty. So the enjoying mentality for one's own sense gratification, that is considered lust. Appreciating beauty is not considered lust. So they're appreciating. And also once you can say a common consideration for that is in cultured societies, uh, lust is not so openly expressed. Only uncultured people, when they feel the sway of lust, envy, greed, they express it very openly. So you'll find in the Hollywood and Bollywood and all these movies, no, people express their lust so openly. But in culture society, it is not like that. So even if people are under sway of lust, they keep within their heart. But here we find that Vrajvasis were considered the highest cultured people, as we read in chapter number 1. But then they were glorifying Putana so openly. So there's a proof that it's not that they were under the sway of the lust, they were appreciating her beauty. Mm, yeah. So it's like sometimes we go to temple and Radharani is very nicely dressed, and we appreciate her beauty. Radharani looking so beautiful. So that's appreciation. Yes, Rukmini Mataji.
Yeah. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Just one thing that when we say that she was given the position in the spiritual world as the mother,
Mhm.
what do we understand from that? It's not Golok Vrindavan, right? Is that the position like spiritual world when we say, where do we consider that as?
Okay. So first thing is she got the position of a Dhatri. Dhatri means basically a nurse, because uh, Mother Yashoda had lot of maid servants. So they all are considered Dhatri. Another thing is, now I have not read directly, but I heard from some devotees who are scholarly that Jeev Goswami writes that uh, in the periphery of Vrindavan, there is a place which is filled with a lot of opulence, not just simplicity and sweetness. So she got that position in that place of Vrindavan. So that is what is I have heard. Now, is it exactly that place, not place? We can't say. We can just speak from the acharyas. Okay,
Thank
Rukmini.
you. Yeah, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
See, I quoted one more verse. This Yasudani Apisa Swargam Avabjanne Gatyam. Krishna Bhukta Stana Chira Kimu Gavo Anumataraha. So there also the comparison is made very nicely. See, if demons and devotees get the same position, like one devotee was once expressing in a class, Prabhu, why not become a demon? Demons and devotees are getting same place. Why not do that sadhana? Because of the terrible demon that personally Krishna will come to kill you. No, it's not like that. So the comparison made in this verse is that if Putana had such a uh, evil plan and she got the position of Dhatri, what to speak of cows and ladies of Vrindavan who had the great fortune of personally feeding milk with love to Krishna. So that means they had a higher position than Putana. It's not same. It's not same. So like uh, in uh, now I won't go too much in philosophy because this lecture of sweetness, but just philosophically analyzing a little bit. Many times what happens is we'll hear some verses from the scriptures. Just by doing this, one gets liberated. Just by doing that, one gets placed in the spiritual world. But amount of sadhana and the purity of sadhana matters. Like those who are Gulabhut Bhaktas, that means they want Brahman and other things, not Krishna, not don't want to serve Krishna. For them, they go to Brahman or they get Swarga, etc. Those who are Pradhani Bhut Bhaktas, whose bhakti is mixed, they get position in Vaikuntha. But even in Vaikuntha, they don't go near to Lord Narayan. They don't get Samipya. They may get Salokya, Sarshti, but they don't get Samipya. But if so, you want to get Samipya in Vaikuntha or one wants to go to Golok Vrindavan, then one has to practice Suddha Bhakti only. That is why everything is not same. Things are different. There are different gradations. So practicing bhakti is not useless. Not that no, I'll become such a demon that no Krishna will come to kill me and I'll go to spiritual world. It's not like that. It's not like that. So our sadhana, our austerities in trying to please Krishna, Guru, we'll get payment for that. It's not all same. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank-
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Yes. So loving someone is better than hating someone. Yes. It's not just better. It's opposite. Okay. So now we'll go to the next pastime. Killing of Saktasura. So when Krishna was just 3 months old, so he was rolling over like a small caterpillar. He was crawling over the entire house. Like ordinary babies do, Krishna also imitated the same thing. And when Yashoda saw that, she wanted to celebrate this event, and that is why she observed a special ceremony. So then, when all the elderly gopis they saw Krishna, so these gopis were filled with maternal affection also. Rather, they were looking like creepers of maternal affection. And they all were intoxicated with bliss by taking part in this function. So they were like very, very happy. So then, gopis, when they saw Krishna, their hearts were filled with compassion because they think we are maintaining Krishna. They observed all the auspicious rituals so that Krishna is satisfied and Krishna is protected. And then all the Vrajavasis, they actually rushed to see Krishna. Gopas were also very splendidly dressed, as we were discussing yesterday also, as they did in Nandotsav. And Yashoda and all the gopis, they smeared oil on the body of Krishna. This how we do it for the deities also. Before the Abhishek, we smear the body of deities with scented oils, so that they can celebrate this auspicious occasion, because now Krishna is going to come out of the house or the maternity hall for the first time. And Krishna now can crawl with his hands and knees. So the celebration began. Mridangas were playing very melodiously. And now Yasoda bathed her son. And after bathing her son, doing Abhishek of Krishna, she began to honor the guests because so many guests has come. And after this Abhishek, Krishna was looking very beautiful. And then Kajal was applied to his eyes. His eyes were looking very, very mesmerizing. And then Yasoda began to please all the relatives by performing traditional family rituals. And Nanda Maharaj was also very, very happy during the festival. And Rohini, who is very expert in domestic affairs, so although her husband Vasudeva was in jail, but she kept all her emotions inside and she was distributing charity to all the guests. Afterwards, Yashoda kept Krishna on the soft mattress, which was looking whiter than the powdered camphor. And then she made a cradle, which she kept under the handcraft. So if you look in Indian villages, they still like they have cradle like that. They start in both the ends and they keep the babies there. So Yashoda made a cradle like that. And then Yashoda began to worship all the guests. And Krishna was resting very, very peacefully. Hmm. So at that time, there was music of mridangas, bheris, dundubis, and all these instruments were being played, and the sound filled the air. So talented musicians were playing the music. All the brahmanas were reciting the Vedic hymns. Sahasra Sirsa Purusa Sahasra Aksha Sahasra Pat. So they were reciting Vedic hymns. And suddenly, Krishna, whose beauty defeats the beauty personified, began to cry. He began to cry due to hunger. And he was very, very hungry for Jasoda's breast milk. But because so much of loud music was there, singing was there, so that is why nobody could hear Krishna crying. Now Krishna wanted to attract attention of everyone. And when Krishna wants it, he does something very special. So he saw that this he was kept under the cart who was actually a demon called Saktasura. And the Saktasura was having the body made of air. And this demon was hiding under the cart. This cart was maintained by the family lineage of Nanda Maharaj since many, many generations. So this was like a very, very old cart. Now by the ancestors of Nanda Maharaj. But then Saktasur, he took shelter of this cart because he wanted to basically kill Krishna. So that was the main reason. She thought maybe I'll go into that cart, I'll crash open, and then in this way, I'll kill Krishna. But then what happened is Krishna began to cry. And when Krishna began to cry, so then he started waving his hands and legs like ordinary children. So then what Krishna did is playfully, as if he's just crying because of being hungry, he touched one of his feet, the thumb of his feet basically, to the axle of the cart. And in this way, the wheels broke up open cart went high, soaring into a sky, and when it came down, it practically became totally dismantled. The pots which were there on the top of the cart began to make a lot of sound. Uh, so this was done just by the beautiful lotus feet of Krishna, which was tender than a lotus flower. And Kavi Karnapur as well as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur later on, he wrote a commentary. So they say that this proves that Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because Krishna didn't exert himself to kill this demon. So as far as Lord Narsingdev is concerned, Lord Narsingdev, he used his thunderbolt like nails. Tava karakamala vare nakham adbhuta sringam. So his nakha, his nails were like thunderbolt. So he used his thunderbolt nails to kill Hiranyakasipu. Similarly, Vamandev, he exerted himself and he took this Trivikrama form to snatch away the property of Bali Maharaj. But Krishna continued to behave like a small child, flapping his hands and legs, and that is how killed this Saktasura. And now again, Krishna was moving his hands and legs, and the tingling of his ankle bells was making soft sound, and his delicate little legs were looking very splendourous. So, by the kick of the Krishna, brass pots had fallen down, axle came out, hubs and the spokes fell apart, handcraft totally collapsed. Rather, it took a somersault also in the top, and then it came down. And in this way, Saktasura was killed. Nandanandan Moor Mukut Vamsi Wale ki jai, Krishna Bhagwan ki jai. And when the sound was made, practically hearts of all the Vrajavasi were stopped. They start thinking, maybe Krishna is being hurt. And in this way, Vrajavasis were filled with anguish. So their hearts are overwhelmed with fear, and they anxiously ran to the spot. And with anxiety, when they met Krishna, they said, alas, is this beginning of another danger? Because this cart would represent auspiciousness. It was kept in the house of Nanda Maharaj for such a long time by his ancestors. And such a strong cart, which couldn't be destroyed or which was preserved since so many generations, suddenly it broke. Suddenly, how can this auspicious cart become inauspicious? But then, when they looked at Krishna, they thought, but this perfect boy is sum total of all pious activities. Why? Because so many brass pots crushed down. The entire cart was dismantled. Rather, each and every spoke of the cart was dismantled, which is so tender, so small actually. But nothing touched the tender limbs of Krishna, who was looking glossy as if smeared with musk. And then they started glorifying Nanda Maharaj. That Nanda Maharaj, in any assembly, you are a natural leader. And along with your wife Yashoda, you are embodiment of all good fortune. So we fail to describe your wonderful glories because nothing happened to your son. How is this possible? Doesn't look logical at all. And in this way, Vrajavasis were praising Nanda Maharaj. But cowherd boys had witnessed what had happened. So they were like, they thought, you're not glorifying the real hero, Krishna. Krishna is supposed to be glorified. At the same time, they were suspecting maybe they'll become angry that Krishna broke the cart. So then they start telling, oh, he is such a small child. So what is his fault? Even if the cart was broken, he's not at fault. So being a small child, he just felt hungry And why when he felt hungry, he was crying for the milk of his mother. But then, when he didn't got the milk of his mother, then he started waving his hands and legs. So why do you blame him for something wrong that he broke the cart? So don't scold him. Hmm? Don't scold him unless until the wind moves. How can lotus but move here and there? So similarly, although car broke because Krishna's uh, toe touched the cart, but what could he do? He was so hungry. So actually, they were speaking the truth. But when elderly people were seeing these children, what nonsense! They thought no, these children are just speaking nonsense. They were not able to believe any of these words of the uh, small children. So anyway, Krishna has a very special way of attracting everyone's attention. So he feels hungry, he makes a big sound. Nobody can make sound like Krishna. But when Yasoda, what about Yasoda? Uh, so when Yasoda heard that sound, so she anticipated that some danger has come upon Krishna. And immediately she fainted and fell on the ground. So then the gopis, they picked up Mother Yasoda and they pacified her with the good news that Krishna is safe, don't worry. Uh, so they comforted Yasoda, wiped out her tears, but Yasoda was still lamenting. She said, alas, my this 3-month-old baby, whose body is so softer than butter, how much he must have suffered. So the entire cart broke and fell on my son. What would have happened to my son? Why didn't my heart stop upon hearing this news? Maybe it has not stopped because it is harder than the thunderbolt. So I am same upon a mother. I am not worthy of being called a mother. I am mother only in the name. The entire earth shook uh, from the crashing of the cart, so much so that people became speechless. Now, such a cart fell on my child. What would happen to my child? Uh, but somehow it didn't hurt my child. Maybe, maybe because of my misfortune, these things happened. But Lord saved the child. If it was not my misfortune, how can such evil events happen with my son? Earlier, Putana came, tried to kill Krishna. Now the cart broke. This must be because of my misfortune only. So therefore, uh, Nanda Maharaj should arrange something, some ceremony, so that no further calamities come upon my son. Because by these two events, I can understand much more misfortune may come in the future. And in this way, Mother Yashoda was lamenting and she ran towards Krishna. But when she saw the attractive face of Krishna, she was conquered by the effulgence coming from the face of Krishna. Krishna's effulgence was looking more effulgent than the effulgence of moon also. And in this way, Mother Yashoda drowned in the ocean of sweetness when she kept Krishna on her lap. And then, surcharged with the feelings of bliss, Yashoda's mind became very pacified. She became free from all the worry. And then Nanda and Yashoda, both of them, they observed auspicious religious rituals on behalf of Krishna. And now Krishna's radiance was looking more gorgeous. So although Krishna is Supreme Brahman, but then he appears like a small baby with curly dark blue hairs in his tender transcendental form. So just to check whether nothing inauspicious has happened, Yashoda fondled Krishna and she started feeding Krishna her breast milk. And then Krishna nicely drank the milk and fell asleep. And again, Mother Yashoda tucked back Krishna under the bed. And Rohini now, she engaged the Brahmanas in chanting auspicious mantras uh, so that all the evil effects on Krishna caused by Saktasura are gone. Now the question comes, uh, who is this Saktasura? So actually this Saktasura in the previous life was a son of Hiranyaksh, whose name was Utkach. So Utkach went to the ashram of Lomas Rishi, and Lomas Rishi even didn't made a house for himself because he would think it to be waste of time. So Lomas Rishi had the life so long that when one hair would fall from the body of Lomas Rishi, which was equivalent to one kalpa, one day of Brahma. So then one day one hair will fall. And Lomas Rishi had hairs all over the body. Hmm. And when all the hairs fall from the body of Lomas Rishi, then Lomas Rishi would die. That was the age of Lomas Rishi. We can imagine his age. But then when Indra came to Lomas Rishi and said that, why don't you build a cottage for yourself? He said, human form of life is very rare and the time is very short. We should not waste it in making the house for oneself. So that was Lomas Rishi. So Lomas Rishi was staying in this ashram, which had no cottage, but it was filled with trees. But when Utkas came there, he started making that entire forest treeless. He started destroying all the trees. And when Rishi saw it, he became very angry. He cursed this Utkach that the way you are making this hill bereft of the trees, similarly, you will also lose your body. You will become devoid of the body. And when Utkas saw that, so as soon as one gets cursed, one becomes very humble. So Utkas also became very humble. And then he begged forgiveness. And then Lomas Rishi, seeing the humility of Utkas, he said, don't worry. In Dwapar Yuga, when Krishna comes, then Krishna will personally deliver you. So that is how this Utkas was delivered, because Krishna wanted to take care that his devotee Lomas Rishi, his words don't go wrong. So that is how Krishna delivered this Utkach, who came in the form of Saktasur. Of course, this past life is from Garga Samhita. So somebody has a question they may ask, else we'll move to the next pasta. So maybe at least I should show this photograph from Krishna book of Saktasur. So give me a minute. So although Saktasur is visible here, but he was not visible. So this Saktasur. And Krishna is nicely, beautifully under the cart. So Krishna Bhagwan ki jai, Nandanandan Mukurkut Vansiwale ki jai. And now we'll move to the, so it seems there are no questions because it is just a pastime. So we'll move. We'll move to the next pastime now. Okay. Yes. So when Krishna, so this pastime was there when Krishna was almost 3 months old. And when Krishna was around 1 year old, Yashoda was lifting Krishna, throwing him in air, again catch him, and Krishna was like so happy, being fondled and caressed by uh, Yashoda. But then, while Krishna was enjoying being thrown by Yashoda and caught by her, by his perfect intelligence, he would understand it seems there is some danger. It seems there is some danger. Ah. And then he employed Yogamaya potency to make proper arrangements. So, out of his compassion, he wanted to display some pastimes now. So, earlier when Yashoda was throwing Krishna in air and catching him, she was feeling as if Krishna is so lighter than a feather, so light. But now, because Krishna sensed some danger, now Krishna was looking more heavier than Mount Meru. He was looking very, very heavy. And holding Krishna, Yashoda became very much tired. So then she came down, kept Krishna on her lap, but then she was feeling even more heavy now. And then she was wondering, how is it my son has become so heavy? Hmm. So, like creepers, they hang down when because of weight of the ripened fruits. Similarly, Mother Yashoda's body was bent because of the heavy weight of Krishna. So she carefully kept Krishna down so that Krishna is not hurt. And by Yogmaya's influence, she kept Krishna down. And at the same time, she was not worried at all. So she just left Krishna outside the house and she went inside to perform some domestic duties. And because of Yogamaya, she couldn't sense that Krishna is left outside in a dangerous position. Huh. So, of course, all these things are just because of Yogamaya's arrangement. But immediately after that, she realized her mistake. She thought maybe Krishna will be in danger because I just left Krishna like that. So she ran back to get Krishna. And at that time, there was a demon called Trnavarta. Trnavarta, one who covers the sky with straw, etc. Tran means basically straw. So he was in the form of a whirlwind or a huge cyclone. So he came there. And actually, why Krishna increased his weight, there is a reason for that. Krishna thought, if Trinavarta snatches me from the hand of Yashoda, Yashoda would die. She wouldn't be able to tolerate. So let me be there in the ground, then I will arrange in such a way that Trinavarta is killed. So Trinavarta took the form of a huge cyclone and he was terrorizing all people and all animals. So Trinavarta in the form of whirlwind was looking like exhalation of hot breath of thousands of wives of snakes. Snakes, when they exhale, they give a lot of hot breath. So it was looking as if these Nag Patnis were in separation from their husbands and they were giving that hot breath. And that is how this world was looking like that. Or this Tranavat was looking like as if Mother Earth has transformed into the bellows of blacksmiths. Nowadays, people don't see. I saw the bellows of the blacksmith traditionally. So they make sound. They make a sound like that. So that sort of sound was coming in all the directions and very, very loudly. Or Tranavat was looking as if the elephants who hold the Bhumandal on their backs in the four directions, as if when they move their ears, so lot of wind blows here and there. So it looked as if they're flapping back and forth their ears in such a way that the flapping of the back and forth of their ears would cause the sky to fall down. So much of wind was there. So this body of Trnavarta was made up of high winds and a dense covering of dust. And it was resembling the body of a deceased man who is infected with ignorance and passion due to fever and cough. Due to fever and cough, person becomes very deceased. So similarly, wherever he would move, he would cover everyone with dust. So although a crooked person may externally show some sweetness, but he doesn't allow anyone to have good place in his heart. So Trnavarta was a demon like that. Like a person who drinks excessive wine, his intelligence becomes delirious, he goes crazy, and he's not able to understand what is happening in different places. So similarly, wherever Trinavat would go, he would cover all the directions in such a way people were not able to understand what is happening at this time. Like in battlefield, when massive elephants fight, there's a lot of dust which moves in the sky and nobody can see anything. So similarly, when Trinavat came there, it enveloped entire Vrindavan with a dense cloud of darkness. So Trinavarta was an extremely powerful demon who was sent by Kansa. Wherever Trinavat would go, he would disturb the balance of five elements. So the five elements: earth, water, fire, air, ether. But wherever Trinavat would go, only one element would remain. That was only wind. So initially, when he entered in the Vrindavan, so all the broken pieces of clay, dust, the grasses, etc., they were dancing in joy inside Trinavarta. But all the Vrajavasis were very, very distressed because of this whirlwind. And this whirlwind was looking so huge, it was looking as if it is touching the heavens. Rather, this whirlwind was so dense, practically everyone on earth was blinded. So it was looking as if during the time of dissolution, the clouds of smoke move up from the mouth of Lord Sankarsan. And they go till Maharloka. So Trinavarta was looking like that. So with the intent to kill Krishna, Trinavarta quickly attacked everyone with powerful winds. So dust, grass, broken pots, they were attacking the people of Vrindavan. And when Mother Yashoda saw that she was anyway running, she became even more worried for her son's safety. She didn't realize that her darling son, whose soft hands and feet, they possess the beauty and fragrance and coolness of lotus flower, could easily kill this big giant demon called Trinavarta. Even the demigods of heaven cannot kill Krishna, but she was not able to understand. So suddenly, within a moment, Trinavarta kidnapped Krishna and took him up. And Trinavarta was feeling Krishna to be more lighter than the feather of a bird. But when Krishna, who is worshipped by Shiva and Brahma and all the demigods, he was taken away like that by Trinavarta. He didn't feel any pain, he didn't feel any distress. Rather, the sweet fragrance from the body of Krishna through the medium of Trinavarta went till the celestial abodes of heavenly planets. And Krishna was moving up and up and up in the sky. Rather, he went till heavens. And when he went till heavens, he gave darshan to all the demigods there. Uh, but then, after some time, Krishna became very worried. Krishna thought, Vrajavasis would die if I don't come down very quickly. So he started contemplating how to kill this demon. Uh, so Krishna was holding the throat of this demon, but he was looking like a fire bound in a cloth kept in somebody's neck. So if you put we bind somebody's neck with a cloth and put fire to it, what will person feel? So Krishna was looking like that. So Krishna went till heavens, gave darshan to all the demigods and all the apsaras there. So when Krishna was moving up, he was looking as if he's taking a flight of stairs like this. He was just moving up and up and up. But then, after some time, Krishna became very worried. He struck the demon with his hand. And with his musk like smelling hands, which are softer than the stem of the lotus, he touched the body of demon. Immediately, demon lost his life, and the life air went away from his body. And with the final blow of Krishna, the demon practically turned into dust. And now, this demon who was going up came like a rocket which had no more fuel. He was just coming down. And Krishna was looking like a blue sapphire locket hanging from the throat of the demon. And when the demon came down, he crashed on the rock right there in the Vrindavan only. And Krishna landed safely on the body of this demon. And when Brajavasi saw this feat of Krishna, that how Krishna went up and he came down and demon was killed, nothing happened to Krishna, they were mesmerized. So, in this way, Trnavarta was killed. Krishna Bhagavan ki jai. And this Trnavarta, because he was touched by Krishna's body, he attained the supreme fortune of getting liberation. And although he did evil deeds, in this way he could purify his entire family line. But what about Yashoda? When Yashoda could not find her son after the cessation of the storm, her heart turned into a desert. She was lamenting like anything. She lost all patience. Rather, she became unconscious. And being helpless and overwhelmed, Yashoda collapsed on the earth. So, although she was suffering immensely, but she was breathing very, very faintly so that she could live. And understanding her intense pain of lamentation, Vrajavasis took some water, sprinkled on her face. Yashoda came back to the senses. And then these gopis spoke comforting words to Mother Yashoda. So they said, O pious and learned lady, the extent of your good fortune is unlimited. Your son, he gives happiness to eyes of everyone. Rather, by his honey-like sweet dealings, Krishna has increased our attachment for him. And just because of your purity, don't be worried, your son is still alive. And then they said, O Nandaraj, O Queen of Vrindavan, Yashoda, now we are able to realize your good fortune and prestige. It is caused because of your illustrious son Krishna. Mother Yashoda, although you are apprehensive about your son's safety, give up your distress. Because that illusion, Trnavarta has left our village. So don't let your mind burn in anguish anymore. Lift up your son and rejoice. And when Yashoda heard these reassuring words, she came back to the consciousness and she was still in anxiety, but she got the strength to run to the place where this demon was lying. And she started speaking. Just a few minutes ago, I could not tolerate the weight of my son. And that is why I kept my son down. And that is why this demon got the opportunity to capture my son. Can you explain? How can this son suddenly become so heavy? So heavy that even his mother cannot carry him. Maybe it is because of my bad luck. Alas, how could my son, who's softer than the butter, who cannot even tolerate the pain of my my lap looks so hard to my son, how could he endure the tremendous pain which this demon must have generated on my son? That demon who attacked the entire Vrindavan with grasses, high winds, piece of bricks. How much pain he must have given to my son. Previously, Providence protected my son from the poisonous breast of Putana, then from the falling of that cart demon, and now this Trnavarta has come. Oh Lord, please protect my son. Please protect my son. It is because of Lord's protection only that I got my son back. From now onwards, I will never take off my son from my lap and never put him on the ground. So please quickly help me to find my son. Where is he? Has the wind demon snatched him and carried him away? As long as I live, I will never again leave him outside the house alone. So saying that, again Yashoda fell unconscious. And sympathizing with the plight of Yashoda, the elderly gopis, they again pacified her. But because of burning fire of lamentation, Yashoda's lotus feet became very withered. Uh, Rather, it became red like red lotuses. And because of seeing her sadness, all the gopis also became very distressed. So, in the outskirts of the village where Krishna previously prayed on the breast of Putana, Krishna smashed Trnavarta in the same place. So, this location where Krishna killed this Trnavarta and previously Putana, this became the location of success of Krishna. Uh, so, while vanquishing the demon Krishna, the greatest of all the relicers looked like. So, Krishna on the body of demon was looking like blossoming Aparajita flower amidst the garden of thorns. We're looking like flower amidst the thorns. Or he was looking like blue lotus rising above the lake which is choked by tall reeds. So sometimes grasses grow on the lakes and no more water is visible. But on top of that, we may find some blue lotus. So this demon was looking like that lake and Krishna was looking like blue lotus. Or Krishna can be compared to small shining lamp on the top of dense cloud of darkness. So this demon was looking like cloud of darkness, and Krishna was looking like small shining lamp on that. This demon was looking like ocean of ignorance, and Krishna was looking like embodiment of transcendent knowledge amidst that ocean of ignorance. Or this demon was looking like a desert, Krishna was looking like a river of nectar amidst the desert. Or this demon was looking like tree of misery, and Krishna was looking like flower of bliss personified on the top of that tree of misery. So seeing this blue baby in such a safe position, all the crowds gradually dispersed and they became very happy. And now they began to talk among themselves. So one person commented, he said, "This low class, faithless demon has kept the demigods from blessing us with their association. So, taking the form of whirlwind, he prevented all the auspicious acts. We couldn't do anything. He tortured Mother Earth also. And finally, this demon is destroyed because of the reactions of his heinous sins. Because the biggest sin which he had committed is to take our Prince of Vrindavan, Vrajkumar Krishna. Rather, he did not have even enough piety to approach Krishna's house. So he died outside the town only. Another person said, "Oh, look at Krishna, this boy. He looks like eternal Parabrahma, the supreme person of Godhead. He's looking like that. His effulgence is expanding in all the directions. So he's like a razor sharp sword which is meant to annihilate all the Asuric demons, all the Asuric kings. From the very beginning, you see, Krishna established his glories. Earlier, he killed this demoness Putana. Then he destroyed this Saktasura and freed everyone from the distress. And now he had demolished this demon who was terrorizing the entire worlds. Another Vedavasi said, like Indra, Nanda Maharaj must have performed severe austerities. So the first person, he gave credit to the sins of the demon that he was killed. Second one gave to Krishna. And another Vedavasi, he gave credit to Nanda Maharaj. So he said, Nanda Maharaj must have performed severe austerities and he must have done many good deeds. And because of his piety, his son has defeated this formidable Asura and other Asuras like Putana, Trnavarta, Saktasura. So we can't understand how can these demons meet death while trying to kill Krishna. It must be because of the pious activities of Nanda Maharaj. So in this way, they accepted Krishna as the wealth of their lives. Brajavasi rejoiced, seeing that he's free from danger now. So they picked up Krishna with their loving arms and they gave it to Yashoda. And in this way, Krishna was carried to the inner chambers of Mother Yashoda. So the atmosphere was filled with happy news that Krishna is good, Krishna is fine. And witnessing the pleasure of Brajavasis, Krishna was also filled with bliss. He was so happy. So seeing the joyful pastimes of Krishna, all the elderly gopis, they smiled and they gave credit to Yasoda. So they said, "Hey Bhagavati, you are worshipable by everyone in this world. And it is because of your good fortune that your son is safe and safety. So it is because of you only." And such reassuring words please the mind of Yashoda that my son is nice. And now Yashoda, upon getting Krishna, was looking so refreshed and beautiful. Like when rain clouds, they pour water on the burning forest, a fresh abundance of life reappears to beautify the forest. So when the forest is burned, everything is destroyed. When the rains come, again the creepers, trees, plants, they come up again. So similarly, earlier Yashoda was thoroughly devastated with the thought that her son is unsafe. And now she was looking refreshed again. So, although she was happy, still she was a little anxious about Krishna. And she was confused about the unusual event. How can Krishna become so heavy? How can I keep Krishna on the ground? Immediately, how can this demon take him away? And because of that bewilderment, again Sita thinking, where is he? Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? And then she remembered, oh, Krishna is here. Ah. So Vrajvasis again nudged her to bring her back to the consciousness. So at that time, Yashoda looked with her eyes on the face of Krishna, which were moistened because of her tears. So her name, fame, position, they surpass everyone in the creation. Nemam virincho na bhavo, napi ang sansraya, prasadam lebele gopi, jettat prapa vimukti dat. So neme virincho na bhavo. This from Bhagavatam. Virinchi is Brahma and Bhava is Shiva. So neither Shiva nor Brahma have the good fortune which Yashoda had. Prasadham levere gopi, yatat prapa vimuktidat. So because she got Krishna as her own son. So waking from the trance, Yashoda stood up, drowned in an ocean of joy upon holding her attractive son. And other ladies, they start glorifying Krishna. They said, "Hey Krishna, you are like a dying man. No, you are like a Sanjeevani Rasa who brings a dying man back to life." So Yashoda had nearly died because of separation from you. But because of you, has revived her life again. So Yashoda was feeling as if she has retrieved her invaluable lost treasure. So seating Krishna on her lap, she was lovingly gazing at Krishna with unblinking eyes. But she was still semi-conscious. So she could not fully relish the bliss of Krishna's association. So as the sleeping senses of Yashoda awoke in the service of her beloved son, she said, "Oh darling, from the time of your birth, you have caused so much trouble to your mother. Of course, this is not your fault. So how can I blame you? Hmm? I am the one who is to be blamed because I left you outside unprotected. This shows that my heart is dry like wood. And I am just your mother in name only. I am not qualified to be your mother. Uh, but because I am known to be your mother, so don't treat me cruelly. So although the demon kidnapped you, but because of your own innocence, somehow you escaped and returned back to us. So, oh my beloved, your love for me is unprecedented and transcendental. I should be punished for my grave mistake." So then, out of intense motherly affection, milk began to pour from the breast of Mother Yashoda, and Krishna began to suckle the breast of Yashoda. And then Yashoda kept Krishna on rest. So, in this way, although Krishna appears in a form of a human, but Krishna eternally exists as the transcendental personification of bliss. Okay. So this is about Trnavarta. So I'll just tell about the past life of Trnavarta also. So there was a king of Pandudes whose name was Sahasraksha. And the Sahasraksha was a great devotee of Lord Vishnu. So he had many wives. And even if somebody is devotee, sometimes what happens is when one gets a lot of fame and name and people are surrounding us, we commit sometimes some mistakes. So this Sahasraksha also, while he was enjoying with this women, he forgot to pay respects to Durvasa Muni. And Durvasa Muni, you can understand. So he was passing by, and when he saw that this king is not respecting him, so he cursed him to become a Rakshasa. But when king repented, Durvasa Muni uh, gave him a benediction. So he gave a benediction that uh, when Krishna comes into Dwapara Yuga, that time he will deliver you. So that is why, in order to uh, in order to bless Durvasa Muni, Krishna delivered this demon called Trnavarta. Okay. Birthday of Aditya Gaur Prabhu. Hari. Yes. So may all the Vrajavasis bless you. Hari. Yes. Palas Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Bro, here till now, like the incident of Putana, then Saktasura. So all the Vrajavasis till now they have get convinced that Krishna is not a very simple child. He's even the Vrajavasis is telling that oh, look at this boy, he's the eternal Parabrahman and the supreme personality of God. So
Mm-hmm.
somehow in their mind they think that he's not a very simple child. He's a very special, and since he's killing so many great demons,
Mm-hmm.
so at that point, like Vrajavasis is not enough. Means they are convinced that he is a very special and very powerful, maybe Lord, but they are not in a consciousness of worshipping the Lord. Still, they are in a state that we will love Krishna, will not like not in a worshipping mood. So,
Mm-hmm.
what may be the reason that maybe there is a strong influence of Yoga Maya, or it's a sweet of will of the Lord. So, what is the exact reason? Even they know that this thing is happening
Mm-hmm.
in the front of their eyes.
Mm-hmm. See, this is because of intense love. Because of intense love, what happens is love overpowers one's uh, thoughts of on reverence. So it's like we may be filled with on reverence if maybe Prime Minister Modi comes in front of us. But as far as his family members are concerned, so they're proud that he's a prime minister. But for them, they're concerned about, oh, so many people are coming to meet him, whether he has taken his meals on time or not. They'll be worried if whether he's healthy or not. Is he taking proper rest? Too many people should not meet him, otherwise, no, he will not be able to take rest. So the what happens is that love overpowers one's knowledge. So all the gopis, they knew that Krishna is God. If we hear Gopi Gitam, they know everything. Uh, so they say that Nakhalu Gopika Nandano Bhavan Akhela Dehi Nam Antaratmadrik Vikhana Sarthito Viswaguptaye Sakha Udaivan Sattam Kule. So entire Gopi Gitam is so Nakhalu Gopika Nandano Bhavan. You are not the son of Yasoda, this Gopi. Nandano, you are not son of Nanda Maharaj. Akhila Dehi Nam Antaratmadrik. You are Paramatma in everyone's heart. Vikhana Sadhito Viswaguptaye Sakha Udaivan Sattam Kule. Because Brahma went and prayed to you, that's how you had appeared in the family of Satvatas, the devotees or the Yadavas. So they knew everything. Then if they knew everything, then uh, why they were not filled with on reverence? Because the desire to serve Krishna was so great that that just overpowered. Like when Krishna went to Mathura, Gopis were not concerned about themselves. Gopis were concerned that we know how to serve Krishna nicely. So maybe Krishna goes to Mathura, these ladies of Mathura will allure Krishna and keep Krishna with themselves. Who will take care of Krishna? We know how to serve Krishna, we know how to please Krishna, we know what are the needs of Krishna, we will be able to serve. So they were worried about him rather than of themselves. And that's why they were feeling such a separation from Krishna. So they know that Krishna is God. But then uh, their love for Krishna is so great, but it doesn't matter. It's like even if he's God, how does it matter? Hmm? You can find a similar thoughts within uh, Jagannath Misra also. So once Jagannath Misra got a dream, and in his dream, one great yogi came. And he said, do you know who your son? Your son is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he started glorifying Lord Chaitanya. And Jagannath Misra said, okay, although he may be Supreme Personality of Godhead, but currently he's my son. So it's my duty to discipline him. So when Nimai was doing a lot of mischief, Jagannath Misra was disciplining him. So that time he got this dream. So he said, he's my son, so I have to discipline him. So that's why for them, their desire to serve and love overpower their knowledge. Okay, Palasuru. Yes. So we still have 6-7 minutes. What we can do? Uh, so we had Putana, Trnavarta, and Saktasura, right? 3 demons. So in this way, again, we'll divide the devotees into 3 groups. And the way you wrote poems, made paintings, PPTs, discuss, etc., you can again do that. So now we can have like an exercise for 10 minutes. And then we'll end. Devotees can again contact in the WhatsApp group and other ways. And we can have presentation in our next class. Okay. So I'll break all of you into the rooms.
Bro, we can have the same groups only, na, which were there before.
We can have, but I don't know how will I divide it now.
Because like हम लोग जो 4 जन थे, like 4 of us, we already have one WhatsApp group.
Okay,
So
okay.
if like we 4 are only there, then
So then maybe I'll see if there is a opportunity where we can give choices to the devotee to accept a group.
Praji, you can, like, if everybody remembers who was in which group, then you can individually assign and break room.
Recover to pre-assigned rooms. This is there. Okay.
So, Hare Krishna Prabhu, so what is the task like? What we have to do about the 3 demons? Like, we need to describe the pastime?
Yeah. So you can maybe write paintings, write poems about those particular pastimes. So group number 1 can discuss about Putana. Group number 2, Saktasur. Group number 3, Trnavarta. Trnavarta Leela.
Like in our group, I was there, Rukmani Mataji was there, Krishnanga Mataji was there, and Kaustubh Prabhu was there.
Okay. So I'll open the rooms. So, okay, maybe I'll just change the task. I forgot. Nandotsav is remaining. So group number 1 can discuss about Nandotsav. If you can make paintings, etc., write poems, make presentation, very good. Group number 2 about Putana Leela. Group number 3, Saktasura and Trnavarta combined. Okay. So open all rooms. Um, it's not working. Oh, it's not working actually. So what I'll do is I'll add the rooms. No. So we'll break into 3 rooms. and let participants choose the room. So you can choose the room group accordingly. So I think you must be getting a choice now.
No, Prabhuji. No pop-up yet.
No, Prabhuji. No, me too.
No?
Yes,
Yes,
I'm
yes,
seeing
Prabhu.
Prabhu.
In the taskbar, it is said that join breakout room. So then we can like join. There is
Yeah.
a
So you can join the same rooms which you had yesterday. So room number 1, 2, 3.